Hi everyone, welcome to update 2 of my mobile phone challenge. In this video, what I'm going to be talking about is the choices I've made between getting my setup sorted out, which I did in my last video, and I'm going to be explaining the choices of the software I'm going to be using because there are some reasons which I've chose them one over another program. And also, I'm going to be giving you another reason why I've chose the engine I have, because it's for you guys as well. So, the engine I have finally settled on to do my project, if you haven't seen the shot, if you've seen it, you already know it. I've actually settled on Godot. There is a reason why I've chosen Godot, because there was another engine I was going to choose, and that was GDevelop. If you guys don't know what GDevelop is, it is this one here. This is like a mobile-friendly one, and it will talk you through how to make a lot of 2D games. However, for me, I want to make a 3D game. This is why I chose Godot over GDevelop. Yes, GDevelop does do 3D games. However, they're a little bit more complex, and also you have to pay for the tutorials, and this is just a small challenge run. I really don't want to be paying for things I don't need if I don't have to. There is also another thing about GDevelop, why I didn't choose it. When you open it up, if it's in portrait mode, it opens it up very hard to read. Where if you ever open up GDevelop on a, let's say, a phone or a tablet, such as, let's say, these two, if I open up GDevelop on my phone, it looks like this, which means also it has the same look on the tablet, which means if you guys don't have, let's say, an S22, which has DeX, which is the way I'm showing you on my screen now, which allows me to do this. If you do not have this, what you can do is if you go down to the top of your screen and you are running one or more later Androids, you can probably screen share your screen to a TV, which basically gives you access to a full-size monitor, and then you just need to add keyboard, mouse, and you've literally got the same setup I do. So, one of the reasons why I have chose Godot is one, that, so you guys can follow on. It's also, there's a lot more assets out there which I know I can personally use, because some of the challenges I'm going to come across will be from the 3D modeling aspect, because there are some 3D modeling programs I can use for this project. However, there is some which are going to be a little bit more difficult to use, such as there is Blender for Android. However, it is an unofficial one, and it is a bit temperamental. When I say temperamental, from the videos I've watched, it breaks a lot. Which means I am probably going to have to buy a lot of assets in for the environment, along with the animation, which I really wish I didn't have to. Hopefully in the future, if Blender does get a version which is playable, I can have more choice over it. But yeah, one thing about, like I said, that's one downside, but the main reason why I chose Godot is because I know it's got the FBX importer. As you can see here, it's asking you to do that, and it is just such a cleaner environment to work on. So it's like if I want to add a user interface, I can build it here. I am going to actually have to relearn, well, I'm actually going to have to learn Godot as I do this project, because I've never personally used it, which means it's going to be a learning process for both of us. But I do know several people who have used Godot in the past, which means if I get stuck, I can reach out to them and they can help me out with this project. So as you can see with Godot, you've got things like control. This is like a UI. Let's see, can I go back? I'm now stuck in this. Or can I do... say 3D scene. No. Okay, so there's a lot of things I need to learn about this project. It is going to be a massive learning curve, but whilst I'm going through this project, it means I can learn with you guys at the same time. Now I've chosen the engine, which is Godot. I'm going to show you some things which I personally I'm going to be using in this project. One of them is called Photop, which is this. Photop is a online version of Photoshop. Obviously, as you can see, it has ads down the side, which are just down pretty much below my camera, which is a downside. However, it's free, so you kind of have to see where they're coming from. What this means with this project, it'll allow me to generate all the things online I need, and I don't have to boot up Photoshop on my PC. So I can build UI and probably do one or two other bits. I'm going to reach out to a friend to see if they can help me out a little bit more, because they know more about using Photop than I do. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a asset site I am going to be using. The asset site I'm going to be using is called Cinti, which is this site. Nope, not this one. That's not Cinti. This is Cinti. At the current moment, I am filming this on the 29th of November, which means at the current moment, it is the middle of Black Friday. So there is a lot of great deals. FYI, I'm not sponsored by these guys. I use their assets because they are decent quality and you can get up and running fairly quickly, which is the main reason why I'm going to be using them. I already have a few of their packs. So I have this one, which I am actually going to be using this pack in this game series, which reminds me very much of an Alien game. And I'm really looking forward to trying this out and seeing what I can make. Especially with now I have access to a full 3D engine, which means potentially I'm torn between building a 3D side-scroller, or I could do a third-person stealth game where you have to try to hide from the creatures, which you do get in this pack because you get a few nice creatures, which if I scroll down, you get access to this guy who looks kind of like a alien demigorgon, and then the things, the Vashnarada from Doctor Who. So this is going to be very interesting. Now, one of the things I am going to have to buy is the animation pack, because I don't have access to a full animation package, which is a downside, but I'm going to have to live with it. Anyway, in the next video, what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down the game document, what you need in it, how I'm going to be using the game document as a key tool, especially for building this project. And then hopefully after that, I'm going to be starting building the game. So I'm going to be bringing all the assets in, showing you how I develop a level design and going from there. So yeah, if you guys are interested in this series, please do don't forget to like and subscribe. This is going to be a very interesting series for me because, one, learn a new engine, and two, I want to see if I can get a mobile game out of this. So yeah, I will see you next time, and hope you guys enjoy. Bye.